The most important player on the 49ers that no one's talking about is rookie Jordan James, and we'll explain why next. What's up? Welcome to LaCohn and LaRocca. That's Tyler C. LaRocca. I'm Grant L. Cohn, sneaking out in a little vacation, mini vacation. After this, wanted to get one last stream in with Tyler.
Where you going?
Because, you know, the thing about Tyler, like, we both have this shared affinity for factor meals. Because, you know what I mean? Like, we both have impeccable taste, and we both are really good chefs. I mean, he lives in Texas. He's a barbecue guy, I can already tell. But sometimes busy guys like me and Tyler just don't have it in us. And it's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to order a pizza? Nah, because as you can see, both of us we're in phenomenal shape. We're basically athletes. So we think like athletes, we eat like athletes.
Yep.
With impeccable taste. We're basically billionaire athletes, but instead of having personal chefs, we have Factor. Because their meals are dietitian crafted, and they just take 2 minutes to warm up in your microwave. So get started at factormeals.com/Cohn50off and use code Cohn50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. I'm essentially helping you. I'm feeding the needy with this right here. People are going to eat because of me, and I feel great about that. It's code Cohn50off at factormeals.com/Cohn50off. Okay, so that's a long roundabout way for me to talk about Jordan James. Jordan James. We're not talking about him much because OTAs and minicamp had no pads, but I feel like when the pads go on and when preseason starts, he's going to be the guy that's going to be talked about a lot. Yep. And I think either he's going to be, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be good, but I think he might be. I mean, just look at what Bucky Brooks, look at what Bucky Irving did for the Bucs. This guy was on the same team. He's the same size. He had the same athletic testing numbers at the combine. I'm not saying he's as good as Bucky Irving, but I think we've seen like what a young, explosive running back can do for an offense. I mean, there's not a big learning curve. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
And with Garendo, here's the thing with Garendo. Averaged 5 yards a carry last year, right? He had that 176-yard run. You take away that 176-yard run, he averaged 4 yards a carry. So, yeah, he's a home run threat, but he's also kind of a boomer bust player. I feel like Jordan James is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of saying that about Jordan James. I've always thought he was like I didn't understand why people didn't like recognize how big of a pick that was, because I know there are rumors that we wanted Scatabo at like the pick we didn't take him at, but Jordan James plays like McCaffrey. I'm not saying he is Christian McCaffrey, but he plays the same role as McCaffrey. So when I saw them draft Jordan James, in my opinion, especially when they got rid of Jordan Mason, I was like, oh, Jordan James is going to be the new running back too. That's how I saw it, is like, in case Christian goes down, Jordan James is the guy. When Christian needs a break or if his calf starts flaring up, Jordan James is going to be the guy. I think Garendo's a great 1-2 punch player. Like I see him as like a Jalen Warren or Raheem Mostert, where he does great with the tandem. Because, yeah, he's a home run hitter. He's going to go out there, and if you let him run in a straight line, like, he's gone. But for an every down cowbell back, I have pictured it as Jordan James since he kind of got brought along. I think it was kind of Kyle realizing we can't rely on Christian, so we need to grab someone like this.
Garendo kind of reminds me of Debo in a sense. Like, do you have a position? Are you a wide receiver? Are you a running back? Like, you're a running back, but you have no real feel for the position. And you're like, you have the speed of a wide receiver, but you can't line up at Z or X and run routes. But I still feel like there's a role for him. Like I keep going back to the Bucs. The Bucs were so good last year. Liam Cohn was really good, and he had those two running backs. Yeah. Like Kyle used two running backs, and he used both of them so well. There was Bucky Irving, but then there was also Rashad White as the guy, like more of the receiver, although they both caught passes. I feel like Garendo could be a really good backup, change of pace back who catches 40 passes in a season, 50 passes in a season. But I still feel like the success of the Niners, like whether they win or lose, doesn't have that much to do with the passing game. I feel like it has more to do with the running game.
Yeah.
Because Well, look at the passing game. Like it can be good, like statistically, but it's all based on play action, and it usually targets the middle of the field. So to me, that's just an inherently dangerous style of passing.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of yards per attempt, but you're also going to get a lot of interceptions because you're throwing into traffic. And that's just been the Niners passing game under Kyle. When they're really good, they have a running back they can hand to a lot who stays healthy and doesn't fumble. Yeah. Then all of a sudden their offense isn't turnover prone and their defense isn't gassed.
Yeah, and I like Garendo. I agree. I think he's going to be more of like a gadget player for us, especially with his injury history. I think last year that was the big reason we had the Jordan Mason exit and we have the Jordan James draft, is because everyone got hurt. Garendo got hurt. I believe he was hurt a couple times in college too. Like his big thing was he's good when he's on the field, and then he got to the NFL and he was good when he was on the field and he was able to just run in a straight line. Whereas again, I just think Jordan James comes in and they're like, maybe this guy can stay healthy. He's a very good receiving back, which Garendo just isn't. He's a very Garendo's like a good. He's a good he reminds me so much of Mostert. He's a good swing back, so he'll flare out, catch a ball, run straight. He's a good screen running back. He grab the ball, run straight, follow your blockers. But if you have anything like that Christian does, right, or Juice Check pretends to do, I think that's where Jordan James is going to slot in really well, right? Like, we need you to run a Texas route. We need you to run a really nice wheel route and find the open space. We need you to actually jump out on the line and pretend to be a receiver like Juice Check does. I think that's where Jordan James is going to kind of find his niche, where Garendo kind of is going to have a rough time.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Niners use McCaffrey, because they're sort of hinting at the fact that they might use him less. But then Clay Kubiak was like, why would we take our best player off the field? I mean, it seems to me that maybe they want to take him off the field sometimes, but that Christian won't let him, and that no one really stands up to Christian on this team. I'd like to see them actually take him off the field at the 2-yard line. Try.
I think that's
take away
part
that
of
touchdown scoring opportunity for him and give it to Jordan James. See how he reacts.
I think that's part of their hype for Jordan James too. Isn't it's a way to reframe. Niners are very good at reframing things. So I think it's not we want to use Christian less. Oh, it's just Jordan James is so good, man. We just love Jordan James.
What I'm saying is I don't buy the whole tampering down the Christian McCaffrey usage. I don't buy it. I don't think he's going to go for it, and I don't think they're going to stand up to him. So I think they're going to overuse him early. He's probably going to get nicked up at some point. And if he misses a game, I think a Jordan James, Isaac Garendo timeshare could be really good.
I think that'll be better.
Complement each other really well.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they'll complement each other very, very well. Jordan James can be your cowbell or bell cow receiving back. And then Garendo can come in where Raheem Mostert would slot in, right? We're just running a dive, run straight. We're just tossing it to you, run straight. I feel like Garendo's I'm not giving him enough credit. He is more shifty than Raheem was. But yeah, I think Jordan James and Garendo, that's why I always say the Niners don't really have an excuse this year unless they're completely focusing their entire offensive system on Christian McCaffrey again, which if they do, they should fire Kyle, because it should be pretty obvious at this point. An offense centered around Christian McCaffrey is not sustainable. He's not young enough and his body can't keep up.
Doesn't this feel like the test for Kyle Shanahan?
Yes.
Man, you're going into year 9 and a lot of people believe in you even though you're coming off a bad year. A lot of people don't believe in you even though you've had some good years. This is such an obvious test. How you use Christian coming off of last year. It's are you going to be stubborn and do the smartest guy in the room thing and everyone's telling you to do something so you pivot, or are you going to just have some common sense? Because this is if you mess this up, the season seems like it could be over, unless, of course, Jordan James and Isaac Garendo can stay healthy.
I think, I think the Saleh hire and Saleh draft picks and Saleh offseason has kind of cemented that. We just need to see what you got, Kyle. We have given you everything you've asked for. We gave you Debo and overpaid for him after one good season. We gave you the BA contract you ran in our office and wanted. We gave you the Brock Purdy contract you wanted. We gave you the Christian McCaffrey extension you wanted. We keep paying Trent like you want. We gave George his extension you wanted. You have your pieces. So do what you need. Like, and if you can't, then you can't. But again, like I'll say multiple times with Kyle Shanahan, there are a very few situations where I don't trust Kyle, and running back is not one of those. I think he makes water into wine when it comes to running back. Same with receivers. I think his system is just so friendly.
I just think it's interesting how his system has changed since Atlanta. Because in Atlanta, I mean, you had a really good quarterback. You could throw a lot and not worry about him turning the ball over that much.
Yeah.
And you had a defense that wasn't that great, but it was like opportunistic. Yeah. So you wanted to take shots and score a lot of points. But ever since Kyle's been with the Niners and Saleh and D'Amico have been his defensive coordinators, they've had the defense has been better than the offense, and the offense has been complementary. And they've never really had a quarterback who could throw a high volume of passes and not turn the ball over a lot. Like they're always trying to limit passing attempts and picks. And so the way they complement their defense and the way they sort of protect their quarterback, whether it's Jimmy or Brock, is to run the ball a lot. And when they have prime Christian, prime Mostert, man, they're like the best team in football or close to it. And that's why I think Jordan James is so important this year, because Christian and Garendo both are really good receivers. But I feel like you hold your breath when they carry the ball. At least we will this year. I mean, how many carries are they going to – neither one got to 100 last year.
Yeah.
Neither one.
I think that's where they are going to this year. Like, it seems like all signs are pointing to they're going to start throwing the ball a lot more this year.
Do they have the offensive line to pull that off?
I think they're going to do a lot of quick hits. I think they're going to – I think Kyle's going to stop the protecting game manager BS and just let's start doing quick hits. I mean, look at the Eagles, bro. They just – it's a quick hit, and then Jalen will burn you deep. Or Saquon will burn you deep. Like, they constantly do that where they force you to load the box, and then that's where they hit you in the mouth. And then when you are like, okay, we don't want to get hit in the mouth again, all right, we're going to force you to load the box then, or we're just going to torture you. Like, and that's when we were really good with Jimmy. Albeit Jimmy couldn't hit a deep ball well, but when you had like Raheem or Debo on gadget plays, that's when they'd hit you in the mouth, and like Emmanuel Sanders over the top or George Kittle like pretty deep in the middle. And that's kind of what they need to go back to. They need to go back to, like, I think the main issue too is you don't have Julio Jones or Matt Ryan. So like trying to do that style of offense, like in Atlanta, you could just be like, all right, if you don't, and I think Matt Ryan was a big proponent of that. Like, I don't really want to do that. I see Julio one-on-one. I'm just going to throw the football up to him and see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't think Purdy has anyone he could trust like that. I think that's why they went out and grabbed someone like Pearsall, who was a good 50-50 ball player. Pearsall just can't stay on the field. Yeah, he loves Juwan Jennings. He loves throwing it up to Juwan. He got a lot more comfortable last year just throwing it up to George. So now, do I think Purdy could have Matt Ryan, like that Matt Ryan season, that the 28-3 season? Probably not. But
Matt Ryan had a better offensive line.
I do think we are going to see more passing this year. I'd be surprised if we don't. That'd be kind of nuts.
Yeah. But it should be short passing, easy passes. All day, every day. Kim says, even if the Niners squeak in the playoffs, Brock won't get it done. He hasn't proven he can during crunch time. If I'm lying, stop me.
That's not true. We've been very critical on Brock. The issue with Brock is the first 3 quarters he was having. Actually, no, prior to last year, it was the first 3 quarters in the playoffs. He couldn't do anything. The 4th quarter against the Packers, the 4th quarter against the Lions, Brock was dialed. The issue was the first 3. Last year, it was
what was his best throw against the Packers?
Was the layered one to Juwan, where he snags it out of the air.
Okay. And the best throw against the Lions was the one that hit Kendall Vilder in the face. And how you caught it.
No, he had.
So, he's had some moments, but I feel like another part of those games was the fact that Jordan Love melted down. Jared Goff was throwing up guys on 4th down who were dropping the ball. Like, other guys were just worse.
I mean, I don't think Purdy is the best by any means, but I do think.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You think Purdy's the best quarterback, and you think Kobe Bryant's the best player of all time.
I mean,
regardless
Kobe
of the sport.
But
here's the thing.
I'd take him on quarterback. Put Kobe at my quarterback right now.
So the Niners have a clear top 3 on defense. Like, they're built around Nick Bosa on the D line, Fred Warner at linebacker, and Diamador Lenore in the secondary.
Yeah.
So you got one really good player at all three levels. That's great. Who do you think will emerge as the fourth best player on this defense this year? If you had to wager,
okay,
who do you think it'll be?
Before minicamp, I was gonna say Renardo Green, but that dude has been getting worked.
I'm a little curious about that one.
If not Renardo Green, I still have faith in him. I like Renardo Green a lot. So I would say Renardo Green or I think Mykel Williams. I think at least he'll look like it because he has Nick Bosa drawing so much attention on the other side.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Mykel Williams too. It could be Renardo Green, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes when a DB goes from one coordinator to the next, we saw with Jair Brown last year, it might be tough for him. We'll see.
Oh, wait, or Bryce Huff. I completely forgot we have Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff could be really, really good. I completely forgot about him. So, yeah, it would be between those three for me. I think whoever gets the lion's share out of Bryce Huff and Mykel will probably end up being the fourth best if it's not.
I have a feeling that Mykel is going to be like, he's going to have modest numbers in the box score, but his like pro football focus grade is going to be really high because his run defense is going to be good. His pressures are going to be there. And maybe he won't have 10 sacks, but he'll probably have 5 or 6 or 7.
I think Mykel's going to – I'm really high on Mykel. I liked him way more than the rumored Shamar Stewart pick. I like him. I don't know if I like him more than the Walter Nolan pick, but I like for what he can do against zone read because our zone read defense is so atrocious because of Nick. Like we needed someone like Mykel Williams. Like I like Mykel a lot. I actually like a lot of the young guys. I was gonna say Nick Martin, but he seems like he's always hurt. So,
well, he broke his hand, right? Trent Williams says he likes him a lot. That's the one guy he shouted out. That would be interesting.
I will say, if everyone was healthy, though, I'd say the Nigerian Missile is the fourth best player on defense. I love Mustafa. I think Mustafa is so good.
Yeah, that would probably be my pick too, but he's coming off an injury. He might not even be on the field week 1.
Nick
Martin's interesting because Mykel's a bit of like, he's 20. He's a bit of a project and a projection. Nick Martin, it's like the Niners either got it right with him or not. He was really good in 2023. He got hurt last year. If he's healthy, he should like plug and play. We should see it right away. We saw it right away with Dre Greenlaw.
I hate how many players were already saying that about if Mustafa was healthy, if Nick Martin's healthy, if Mykel Williams is healthy.
That's why I'm a little hesitant with his defense. Like, Saul's back, and they got 3 good players, but what the hell do they have after that?
Yeah.
Maybe Mustafa, maybe Mykel, maybe Nick Martin. I don't know.
Maybe Alfred Collins will sign his contract. Who knows?
Still hasn't done that.
Yeah, that's my thing is like, I don't know. Like, but I do think Mustafa's really good. He actually reminds me of a lot of, I don't know if you remember, it might be before your time, Dante Whitner.
Yeah, it was way before my time.
I like Whitner. So
that was 4 years old when Whitner was on the team.
So I like him. So we'll see, man. But yeah, if I had to hedge my bets, it would be Mykel or Renardo. I think those
all day, every day. Kim says when the best of the best quarterbacks have been across from him, that dude has not gotten it done, period. That is playoff football.
I mean, okay, the Super Bowl, he did what he had to do. Nick Bosa lost the Super Bowl. So I'm not blaming him for the Super Bowl. That was Nick Bosa's fault. If Nick Bosa just tackled Patrick Mahomes instead of nose dove toward the running back, we won the Super Bowl. So I can't blame him for that.
Playoff performance counts. I think it's a big reason why Brady is considered the GOAT instead of Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning has more MVPs and better numbers than Brady, but Brady was just better in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So I get that, but like, it's not enough to just be like, well, he won 4 games and lost 2. I mean, so does Mark Sanchez. That's a team statistic. It's nice that he won those games, but I don't know that he's established himself as this like otherworldly playoff performer. He's had some moments.
I don't think I think he's better than Jimmy in the playoffs. That's all I always thought. That
you're better than Jimmy in the playoffs, Tyler. But you're,
I've been playing college football, so I'm about to get drafted. But anyways, I just think it's so weak to blame the quarterback every time like the Niners fail in the playoffs. It's so Kyle. Like, dude, I'm so sick of it. Like the Super Bowl against the Chiefs was Nick Bosa's fault. Or even Kyle's fault. He should have went for it. Bro, we're playing the Chiefs. Score a touchdown. Don't put a tight end on a defensive end. Like, what can Brock do there? He is getting beelined at by Chris Jones, what can he do? Like,
and like his biggest sin was like not being better. Like he didn't like underperform. He just performed like the 13th best quarterback in the league, which is kind of what he is.
I'm going to say this. He performed just as good as Patrick Mahomes performed. Patrick Mahomes just got a better defensive performance.
Well, not when it counted. Not when it counted. I think that's kind of the difference.
You know what I mean? All Patrick Mahomes did was take a read option, and he won the game. He didn't do anything special in that Super Bowl. Like, that's what I'm saying is like,
nothing was stopping Brock Purdy from making a play, but he threw the ball to freaking Juwan Jennings over and over.
Patrick Mahomes didn't make a play. He just took what he was given because his defense, but that's what I'm saying is like, Andy, if it was 4th down and Brock Purdy and Andy Reid was Brock's quarterback, he'd say, go for it. We're in the Super Bowl. Why are we not going for it? Why would we hand them the ball back and like make them okay with a field goal? Like, that's my thing is like, blaming Brock Purdy is just so easy. And it's lazy in my opinion.
And it's true. It's like if they had a better quarterback, Kyle would have found a way to lose that game. That's the thing about Kyle.
Bro, if we had Josh Allen,
Baker Mayfield, Baker's better than Brock. They would have lost with Baker Mayfield. You know why? Who's the head coach? What's his name?
I mean, Baker, in my opinion, Baker would have probably thrown a pick that probably would have lost the game. Brock was pretty not turning the ball over there.
He was.
But in my opinion, bro, you could give Kyle Josh Allen, he'd tear his ACL on a QB power 2nd down. Like, it's just Kyle, I don't know. Bro, he had MVP Matt Ryan and the best receiver by far at that time in Julio Jones, and he still couldn't perform. Like, it's not the quarterback. It's Kyle Shanahan.
The People's Niners says, I think this season truly is all about what you said a few days ago, Grant. Has Kyle learned that the league is caught up, and will he overdrive CMC?
I agree.
My prediction is that Kyle hasn't changed, won't change, can't change. Kyle, prove me wrong. But it's been 9 years. I feel like I know you. I don't think you got it in you.
My biggest issue with Kyle is like when we still had an efficient offense last year with all the injuries, and he's shown that he doesn't need Christian McCaffrey to be successful. But it's like ever since he got Christian McCaffrey, he's like, oh, shiny toy. I have to use it every play. I must use my Christian McCaffrey. When it's like, dude, you've proven time and time and time again, you don't need Christian McCaffrey to have a really effective offense. So I don't understand this obsession. Like, all right, Christian's on the field, getting the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, like when you talk about the effectiveness of his offense, it's largely like yards and estimated points added and like advanced stats. When really what wins games is points and what loses games is turnovers. No. And I feel like his offense wasn't particularly off the charts and scoring points last year. And
we were really bad in the red zone. You want to know why we were bad in the red zone, though? It's because everyone knows where the ball's going to Christian McCaffrey. Want to know why the Chiefs' red zone offense, besides last year, I know last year they were awful. Besides last year is always so good because they just hammered it to Travis Kelce. You had to worry so much about the tight end, which we have the best tight end in football. Make them worry about George and then let everyone else just be around them. You'll find a hole.
Who do you think is the worst player on the 49ers defense? The worst starter? I mean, we know they got 3 really good starters. They're probably going to have a 4th guy emerge as a good player too. But if we had to single out one person just to be jerks,
either
who would
safety,
it be right now?
Pinnock or Richie James. It's one of those. I have zero faith in our safeties. Zero. We were already thin at safety, and these guys are worse than them. That's pretty rough.
What about Trey Brown at nickel? He gave up a quarterback rating of 124 last year.
Well, is he going to be? Oh, so here was my thought process without picking the nickel corner was, is it going to be Demo? Is Renardo and Upton Stout going to play on the outside, or is it going to be Trey Brown? Or like, because I don't know how they're going to play that.
I mean, in OTA's minicamp, it was Trey Brown with the starters. Upton Stout's got a ways to go. I would imagine it's going to be Trey Brown week 1.
Well, then my guess is, him or one of the
There's 3 guys in the secondary that it's like.
They're probably going to be awful. Yeah.
D. Winters has a lot to prove.
Yeah, but I think he'll
Alfred
be better.
Collins hasn't even signed his contract.
And I still think he'll be better off the couch than Trey Brown or one of those safeties. I think Richie James probably will be the worst player on the defense.
You know who I think is like a sleeper to be one of the best players in the defense? CJ West.
Fred Warner. Oh.
I mean, he didn't miss a practice in the OTAs and minicamp. He looks bigger than he looked on his college tape. He looks like Kalia Davis with like a lower body. Do you know what I mean? Kalia Davis kind of has bird legs. Yeah.
I think I agree. I think I honestly think, again, with Huff, Michael, and Nick, either Collins or CJ West, dude, they can feast. They really can feast on the inside.
There's a lot of potential in the front seven. But in the secondary, man, you're really awful. Hoping that Renardo Green, Upton Stout, Malik Mustafa, and Jair Brown all
come back,
take major steps. Yeah. And that's scary stuff, dude.
And you hope Mustafa gets back ASAP.
Yeah, because if those guys don't work out, then you're playing Trey Brown, Jason Pinnock, and Richie Grant.
Yeah. When he gets back, my eyes on Jair Brown, because last year he was horrible, genuinely horrible. I don't know what happened, but my God, was it hard to watch that dude play football.
It was interesting too. Yeah, I agree with that. With Bernardo, he had a really good rookie season, but with Saleh, his history with the Niners, he always had a number one corner who would hold his own and demand respect. The number two corner was always getting picked on and losing confidence, and it was originally Akello Witherspoon. I wonder what's going to happen for Renardo Green this year, because he's going to get targeted a lot until he proves.
He's currently getting targeted a lot in minicamp. Yep. He's getting and I think it's good. I think there's I like Renardo Green because I liked his mindset coming out of Florida State. I thought he was he's very confident in himself, which you need in a corner. You can't be shy as a corner. And so I'm hoping he gets picked on and picked on and picked on to the point where he's okay, I'm starting to learn what I can get away with, what I can't get away with. And playing against someone like Juwan, who's so big, has got to help you, right? For a not as big corner, that's got to help you a little bit. Okay, this is how I kind of got to play these bigger receivers. I don't know. I have a lot of faith in Renardo. I like Renardo a lot.
You know what scares me about Renardo? He's only a year younger than Lenore. He's not that young.
Yeah, none of our rookies
25 this year, Renardo Green.
None of our rookies are ever, besides Michael and Trey Lance. So we'll see how the young ones go.
All right. Pro Football Focus recently ranked all the offensive lines in the league, and the Niners ranked surprisingly high.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Why?
Because of Trent Williams. He completely weighs their grade into the top.
It's incredible, right? So I'll just list it real quick. Number 1, Eagles, obviously. Number 2, Denver. Number 3, Buffalo. Number 3, Chicago. Number 5, Indy. Number 6, Tampa. 7, Minnesota. 8, Atlanta. 9, Jets. 10, Chargers. 11, Carolina. 12, Niners. 13, Detroit. Here's what they say. Trent Williams remains the leader of San Francisco's line, but the soon-to-be 37-year-old won't be able to do so forever. For the first time in 5 seasons, he ranked outside the top 2 offensive tackles in PFF overall grade this past year. Williams also missed significant time due to injury. The Niners group is still above average, especially considering Dominic Pooney's emergence. The Kansas product ranked 6th among all guards with an 80.5 PFF overall grade as a rookie. So hold on. They have a guard who had 1 good rookie year, a left tackle who's 37 and missed 7 games last year, and that's an above average offensive line? Really?
Yeah.
Offensive lines must suck.
I actually do. So I've had chats with this about friends. I think offensive line talent is really hard to find right now. That I do believe. But how are we better than Detroit? They only lost Ragnow. Their line's still good.
They have Taylor Decker. They have Penei Sewell. Yeah. Those are 2 established elite players. But I don't know. And if Trent Williams is your best player, it seems like you also have to account for his backup, because Trent Williams isn't going to play.
Yeah, and again,
have 2 or 3 or 7 games with Spencer Burford playing left tackle.
I love Pooney, and I love Trent, and I do think Pooney is one of the best young guards in the league for sure. But yeah, the issue is if our 40-year-old left tackle gets hurt, you think our guard is going to hold down the offensive line?
That's what I don't like about this ranking. It doesn't make sense to me. So if Trent Williams were to get injured, where would they rank? 32?
According to them, we'd be above average. So I don't know.
Let me look at the 32 the 32nd ranked offensive line? It's
I'm guessing the Giants,
the Texans.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty.
And because they traded Laremy Tunsil and got rid of Shaq Mason.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
the Niners
take
got
our
rid of Aaron
offensive
Banks, and if Trent Williams goes down, I feel like they're about as bad as the Houston Texans on the offensive line.
I would
So
take
Trent
ours
Williams
over
at
the
37
Texans.
elevates him from 32 to 12.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I also hate PFF rankings because they're way they're very analytical, which I appreciate, but they're a little too analytical if you catch my drift. Like they're like a zone read where the offensive line doesn't really have to do much. They just kind of have to move as a wall and not let anyone just walk by them. They're like, oh my God, look at it. Look at Jake Brendel. What a stud. Look at McKivitz. Wow. He really sealed the
yeah.
And it's like Rendo's running a 4.2 40 away. Like even if McKivitz did blow the assignment, like Garendo's gone. And so they're like, oh, that's a good grade. And it's like, all right.
Here's nothing that annoys me about PFF. So they'll have a composite grade for a team in their roster. And last year the Niners were like the 9th highest graded roster in the league. And they finished 6 and 11. And this site won't put 2 and 2 together. Like, team was pretty good. Players are pretty good. Only 6 wins. What does that say about the coach? But they'll never go there. They'll never go there.
I think the issue
really underperformed. Whose fault is that?
Kyle is literally just the new gen Andy Reid. So no one will hate on him because they know how good he can be at his peak.
Yeah. Good enough to lose a Super Bowl. Okay. Who is the worst starter on the offense right
Brock
now?
Purdy.
Oh, you're such a hater, dude. Take it back. I mean, this is an offense that's been together a long time. It's a lot of older players.
No, in all seriousness, I would probably go Colt McKivitz. He's probably the worst starter on the offense. That would be mine. If you want me to do a fun one that's not offensive line, picking on the how horrible they are.
I don't think it is Colt McKivitz. I think he's bottom 3.
Who do you think?
What about you think Colt McKivitz is better than Jake Brendel? I mean, worse?
Yeah.
I mean, worse?
Yeah.
You think Colt McKivitz is worse than Ben Barch?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I hate him. Because he makes George have to be the right tackle. He's just a second right guard. So until he can hold his own and let George actually play tight end, then he's my worst player.
I feel like the Niners think they can get away with this Barch experiment because they think it worked out with McKivitz and Brendel, right? They had McClinchy and Alex Mack. Let them both go and just replace them with their backups.
The only one I was sad about was Alex Mack. McClinchy sucked, and he wasn't worth his money.
But that's why they're like, hey, look, we made McKivitz a starter. No one knew what he could do. He was completely unproven. He's fine. Brendel's fine. Barch will be fine. I guess they're 2 for 2. Should we give Chris Forster the benefit of the doubt on this one?
No, I think our offensive line is awful. I think our offensive line's atrocious.
When the Niners lose and Brock doesn't play well, I feel like a lot of fans say, well, I mean, you got to get a right tackle. Got to improve this offensive line. And then the offseason comes around. They don't improve the offensive line, and fans are like, well, the offensive line really isn't that bad.
I've been seeing a lot of that. What are they watching? Like, I've seen, Brock Purdy walked himself into sacks. Bro, someone's in his face the second he receives the snap. Of course he has to run around and look for a play. Like, and I do agree, like, Brock did walk into a lot of sacks or, like, blow some wide open receivers because he's just busy prancing around. But for every one of those plays, there's 3 plays of him just getting ran at with no blitz, just like straight up ran at. So I don't know, man. I think our offensive line's terrible. I don't know why we didn't make a move, but like we didn't even get like rookies to replace him either. Like we didn't even do the Pooney thing.
Matt Mayoko tweeted yesterday. He says PFF's 2025 NFL offensive line rankings. At 12, the Niners O-line checks in just about where one would think. Is it? And then some guy writes in a response, he says, read and listened to PFF's podcast discussing it. Niners ranking is all based on the fact that T. Will is a Hall of Famer. Lazy analysis.
Yes, I agree.
Difficult task ranking all 32 teams.
I completely agree. It's Trent Williams. That's why they rank that high. They would be bottom 3 if Trent Williams wasn't alive, like wasn't on our team.
Apparently, they were 10 spots lower last year. I don't understand how you raise up
because Purdy was a rookie.
Because Purdy established himself.
Because they
but
said
here's the
yeah.
thing about Purdy, like we don't really know what Purdy is. If Purdy were to have a down year this year, I mean, he wouldn't be the first guy to have a great rookie year and a sophomore slump. So it's a little hard.
It could be the same as Renardo.
All right, I gotta leave in like 9-ish minutes. So I got one more topic I want to talk about, and it's not Niners related. I think we pretty much handled the Niners stuff. Although, hold on, we got a couple super chats, and then I'll get to this because it's Giants. All day, every day. Kim says, flip Patty and Brock in the Super Bowl. Who wins?
I trust Andy Reid over Kyle Shanahan, so I'll say Brock.
The People's Niner says, since we all realize what Purdy's arm talent is, since we all realize what Purdy's arm talent is already, do you think that's where McCorkle will come into fruition? McCorkle is trying to rebuild confidence slowly, and he may never do it. He's lost 19 of his last 27 starts, 25. We'll see. But playing with Christian McCaffrey often helps your confidence. Lamont 757 says, Grant, did you see the Jim Harbaugh mic'd up minicamp? No, I need to see that. I'll watch that on the way down today. Down, up, left, right. I don't know where I'm going. Okay. Rafael Devers. So this was great. This was on Eric Burns' podcast. Shout out to Eric Burns. Full credit. You had Will Clark on his podcast. Will Clark, I've interviewed him before. He gives the best stories. So why don't we check out what he had to say about Devers?
Comes over from Boston, and you have an opportunity to meet him.
Right. So Matt Williams and Bob Melvin want me to go out there and work with him around first base. No problem. And we weren't gonna like go through anything physical. We're just gonna walk through and say, hey, look, if throw's coming from over there, stand this way. If throw's coming from over there, stand that way. It wasn't gonna be this big thing, right? And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he did not come out early at all, period. Not at all. Matter of fact, he didn't even hit on the field, right? And everybody's like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry, Will. I'm so sorry. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. I said, I know what the fuck happened. I said, he didn't want to go out and be at first base and be 20 feet in front of their freaking dugout with, you know, what went on in Boston. And now he's working with me at first base. He didn't want to have to go through all that bullshit through the press and the media. And so, anyway, so I completely understand. But Rafael Devers, next time I'm in San Francisco, your ass will be on the field at first base. Just letting you know that. Just from the
but if he's not going to go out, he's going to tell you.
Hey, look. Even if I got to go grab you by the fucking back of the neck and drag your ass out there, you will be at first base.
Gotta love Will Clark, dude.
Yeah.
Will Clark, he was the the Giants first baseman in the late 80s, early 90s. He was top 5 in MVP voting 4 times, Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, career 303 hitter. Kind of a good player. I guarantee you Rafael Devers has never heard of him.
I haven't. Yeah, no, I mean, I like that he explained it a little bit because I thought it was just like, oh, he was being lazy again, but he seemed to explain like he didn't want to deal with the media blitz or like Boston being weird about it. So, I guess, like he said, we'll see next time he's in town. I wish I could be there for that and watch it because Will Clark seems like I'd love to see him drag Rafael Devers out of the dugout to first base. That'd be kind of fun.
It's a bad look for Devers, man. So you were doing well in Boston. You may have had a grievance. Maybe they didn't communicate with you well enough, but they pushed you off the team. They got rid of you because they thought you were being a jerk, essentially. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't want to play first base. Like, that's what's best for the team, or you really care about yourself more. So they just gave up on you. Boston Red Sox, kind of a good organization. Giants talked themselves into it. Boston didn't know what they were doing, man. That great organization over there, they just don't know what they're doing. They alienated you. We're player friendly. We're gonna say all the right things, do all the right things, and he's gonna play first base for us. And he's like, yeah, for sure. I like that. Yeah, we'll do that. Psych.
He better play first base. I'm gonna be so tight if he doesn't. I need Devers to. I need him to be Devers, man.
You got to not blow off Will Clark, Rafael, because look, you're like a career 278 hitter. That's pretty solid, man. Like you're a good player. You've never been top 10 in MVP voting, but you've been top 15. Like you're a really, really good player. But on the Giants, Will Clark is legend. And just because Tyler doesn't know who he is, Tyler's a little bit young. So are you. 28. But dude, one of the best swings of all time, dude. Like one of the greatest lefty swings of all time.
I know. I wonder if he's
really
working with Barry. I wonder if he's working with Barry at all, or if it's just kind of for the media. They're just taking pictures together. Even though I did hear a lot of players didn't like Barry in Miami. So
the thing about being a hitting coach is it's like it takes a ton of time. You understand how much time like you have to watch film on all your hitters, all their at bats, and give them notes to really help them improve every day. You have to get, I mean, if one of your hitters is a switch hitter, you got to give him double the notes. It's a lot of work. I just don't feel like Barry Bonds wants to do that.
Yeah, but I feel
like get paid that much.
I feel like for Devers he would.
For Devers to be his personal batting coach, do you think he gives a fuck?
Yeah.
About Rafael Devers?
Yeah, I do. He wants to get in the Hall of Fame because he wants to get in the Hall of Fame.
He wants Rafael Devers to get in the Hall of Fame?
No. Barry wants to get in the Hall of Fame, so he wants to, do good, do his mentorship.
Oh, he's gonna make it in as a coach. He's gonna coach his way in.
He just wants to look good to Cooperstown. We're like, you know what? Like, we didn't like Barry, the steroids, the attitude. They're like, but look at him now. He's a mentor now.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a pillar in the community.
Yeah. It's like T.O. talking to B.A. It's like, yeah, dude, I get it. I was horrible as a player, attitude-wise. But now look at me.
But I'm in the motherfucking Hall of Fame and you're not.
Yeah, now I'm a Hall of Famer. So now I can be a calm mentor. So maybe that's what Barry's trying to do.
All right, so 11:57. I got to get out of town. Thank you for doing this show with me. Everyone, thanks for watching. Still nothing going on, but the minute I leave the Bay,
something's going to happen.
Hell is going to break loose. I can't wait. Tyler, I'll be talking to you. Everyone else, have a great day.